news tonight. Pictures just into our newsroom of the woman accused of killing two Bay St. Louis police officers early this morning. You're looking at Amy Anderson, a 43-year-old veterinarian from Ocean Springs. Investigators believe she shot the officers after an argument when the officers threatened to involve Child Protective Services. It all happened while she was in a car with a 10-year-old. Anderson was also shot in the chest and killed during the incident. It may have been self-inflicted. Investigators are waiting on an autopsy to find out who fired the fatal shot. The child in the car was not injured. Now, there's been a tremendous outpouring of support for the Bay St. Louis police officers killed in the attack. Officers Stephen Robin and Branden Estorffe, they were respectively 34 and 23 years old. Bill Snyder has more tonight on how the deadly incident unfolded.
Central all units. Can I have anybody en route to Motel 6? Motel 6, we have in Bay St. Louis, we have 2 officers down.
2 officers down. A call to action that no law enforcement agencies want to hear go over the radio. But that's the chilling language they received at 4:30 this morning in the Bay.
A female heard 2 gunshots. They said 1 is breathing.
The 2 officers on the scene, 23-year-old Branden Estorffe and 34-year-old Stephen Robin, were told they encountered 43-year-old Amy Anderson sitting in this car with a minor female. You can see the broken glass in the driver's side passenger window. The Mississippi Bureau of Investigation says Anderson shot both officers from inside the car, and from there, the situation is felt over the scanner traffic.
The original call was for a guest needing a welfare concern. Bay 35, Bay 24 went out there, and they were on the phone with CPS. And the office had called us and told us that they heard 2 gunshots and 2 officers were down.
12 Central 99, get past Cleveland, and any other responding agencies around, please.
10-4.
Fellow officers from Bay St. Louis, Waveland, Diamond Head, Hancock County, and the Mississippi Highway Patrol and MBI all arrived to help their downed colleagues in blue. Officer Robin died on the scene. Estorffe died from his injuries a short time later. We're told Anderson died from a gunshot wound to the chest. The incident happening quickly. The aftermath, businesslike but somber. Officers collecting evidence, speaking to witnesses, and consoling their colleagues. Hotel patrons stunned, and all involved working to process a tragic morning. In Bay St. Louis, Bill Snyder, WLOX News Now.
Tonight, residents in Bay St. Louis are working to honor officers Estorffe and Robin. The signs of community support growing with flags at half-staff, a police unit front and center at City Hall, and even a makeshift coffee stand at the crime scene to offer a little comfort to investigating officers. The coffee provided by PJ's Coffee, which is served as a gathering spot for officers to drink coffee and create conversation. The downtown business also putting up a mourning wreath to show respect and love.
We're a strong community, and I believe that we have a lot of support and love from other communities as well. It's just not Hancock County. The whole Gulf Coast is one, and I believe there's positivity in numbers.
Okay, so y'all just heard that audio right there, that news clip right there, and this is a very interesting turn of events, but not so surprising at the same time. How many times have I told y'all stories over the last couple of months, just this year alone, where a lot of these PC individuals are getting into it with these cops, and it always usually ends in one of 2 ways. 1, they're going to get away with it, or 2, one of the cops is going to get taken down, either to be injured or be killed. What makes this one different is that all 3 of them are gone. Both the cops are dead, and so is she. Now, the biggest question that the people are having is with the gunshot wound to the chest for her. They're asking, did one of them manage to get a shot off and shoot her in the chest before they died? Or did she do this and shoot herself in the chest after she shot both of these cops? Now, the biggest question I have is, why was she pulled over? Because they said that there was a welfare check that was called, and to see what was going on. And it said when the cops had told her that they were going to call CPS because her child was in the car, that's when she pulled out her gun and started to shoot. So what was going on with this child that she was trying to shield the child from or protect the child from, or was she seen as a threat to this child? And the way that she popped off like that, one could say and argue she probably was. But see, the thing is, dead people don't talk. So they can't pump her for information because she's dead. I can only imagine how traumatizing that whole incident had to be for the child to have to see all of that happen. I mean, she literally just saw 3 murders happen in front of her all at one time. One cop died on the scene, one died at the hospital, and her mother died right next to her, like right there in the car. All of that just, went down. And, when you look at some of the pictures that I've seen of her online, no one would suspect that she would do something like it. It's always the unsuspecting ones. But you know who they love to profile the most, and we aren't the ones that the ones that they profile the most probably could be the most innocent people. But because they look suspicious, they love to do that thing when they look suspicious, then that's when they have to go in for the attack. But if they look innocent, then it's like, oh, they wouldn't do anything like that. Think again. So we have what one of my subscribers call a killer Karen. I think I might actually throw that up on the thumbnail. I think that's the perfect thumbnail title for this video. Killer Karen. And she's gone. So again, they can't interrogate her. The only witness that they can have at the scene will be her child. And only the child is going to be able to recount what happened that day, as hard as it's going to be. But yeah. I also want to know, what does Blue Lives Matter have to say about this? Because, they won't say it. They usually will talk. If this Amy woman was a black woman, they would have had a lot to say about this. But because she's clearly not, I'm curious, what does the other BLM, I should say, have to say or commentate when it comes to this situation right here? Do they even know? Do they even care? I think it might be a combination of both, but I'm almost leaning more towards the latter.